Title: Edie Wild Vegas Adventure, The Clown Caper. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, lived a mischievous little kitty cat named Edie. Named after the famous singer Aidy Gormy from the iconic duo Steve and Aidy, she was a bundle of joy and energy. Edie loved nothing more than playing with her toys and exploring every nook and cranny of her home. One day, Edie's mother had to go away for a few weeks on a business trip. She asked a friend named Crazy Jimmy to come and take care of her precious little kitten. Crazy Jimmy was a quirky character with a wild sense of humor and a penchant for adventure. However, Edie was hesitant about Crazy Jimmy, especially when he had to put cream in her ear twice a day to treat an ear infection. As the days went by, Crazy Jimmy grew fond of Edie and her playful nature. He decided to take her on the adventure of a lifetime, a trip to the dazzling city of Las Vegas. With Edie on a leash and a suitcase full of cat toys, they set off on their journey. When they arrived in Vegas, Edie's eyes widened at the sight of the glittering lights and towering hotels. Crazy Jimmy had a plan. He believed that Edie was his lucky charm and would bring him fortune at the casinos. They checked into the luxurious Caesar's Palace, where Edie was treated like royalty. Their first stop was the slot machines. Crazy Jimmy petted Edie's head and made a wish before pulling the lever. To their amazement, the machine erupted in a cacophony of bells and whistles, showering them with coins. Edie meowed triumphantly, and Crazy Jimmy couldn't believe his luck. They spent hours exploring the Las Vegas Strip, with Edie leading the way. She ran up and down the streets, chasing after pigeons and making friends with other animals she encountered. Crazy Jimmy had to keep a tight grip on her leash, but he couldn't help but laugh at her antics. At one point, they stumbled upon a group of Elvis impersonators performing on the street. Edie was mesmerized by their sparkling jumpsuits and couldn't resist joining in the fun. She pranced around, meowing along to the music, and the crowd cheered her on. Crazy Jimmy snapped a photo of the moment, knowing it would be a cherished memory. As they continued their adventure, they met a cast of colorful characters. There was Lucky Larry, a seasoned gambler who claimed to have the secret to winning big at blackjack. He took Crazy Jimmy and Edie under his wing, teaching them the ropes and sharing stories of his wild Vegas exploits. They also encountered a pair of showgirls named Glitter and Glamour, who were performing at a nearby hotel. They were instantly smitten with Edie and invited her to join their act. Crazy Jimmy agreed, and Edie found herself strutting her stuff on stage, much to the delight of the audience. One evening, as they were playing cards at a casino, Edie spotted a mouse scurrying across the floor. Her instincts kicked in, and she darted after it, pulling Crazy Jimmy along. They ended up in a high-stakes poker game, where Crazy Jimmy used Edie's lucky charm powers to bluff his way to victory. As their Vegas adventure continued, things took an even crazier turn. They stumbled upon a secret underground clown convention, where clowns from all over the world had gathered to compete in the annual Clown Olympics. Edie was fascinated by the colorful characters and their wacky antics. The clowns, led by the mischievous ringleader Silly Billy, invited Edie and Crazy Jimmy to join in the fun. They found themselves participating in a series of hilarious and chaotic events, from the pie-throwing contest to the juggling marathon. Edie proved to be a natural, impressing the clowns with her agility and quick wit. However, things took a turn when Silly Billy revealed his master plan. He had been secretly plotting to take over the Las Vegas Strip and turn it into a giant clown-themed amusement park. He needed Edie's lucky charm powers to pull off his scheme, and he wasn't going to let her go without a fight. Crazy Jimmy and Edie found themselves in a wild chase through the streets of Vegas, dodging clown cars and juggling balls. They enlisted the help of their new friends, including Lucky Larry and the showgirls Glitter and Glamour, to stop Silly Billy's plan. In a thrilling climax, Edie and Crazy Jimmy faced off against Silly Billy in a high-stakes game of chance. With the fate of the strip hanging in the balance, Edie used her lucky charm powers one last time, helping Crazy Jimmy win the game and foil Silly.